T.O.P.I.C.S Radio.
Topics. Top opinions presented in current sports.
And we're back for another edition of Topics. I'm Tone Taylor.
And I'm Chris Harris. What's going on, y'all?
How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, my brother. I got to move over. My
Yeah,
foot
move
player.
over. You got to get in front of the camera, man. You got to get in front of the camera, man.
A lot of
People gotta
stuff
see
in
you.
it.
The fans got to see you.
Nah,
We
they
got
ain't
to
gotta
see you.
feed me.
Just understand it.
I'm light skinned. You can see me. I light up the room.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I light up the room. You heard?
How you doing this Wednesday?
Good. Player had the day off. You know.
Feeling good. Feeling great. That's all that matters. So let's get to these sports, man. You know we bring you that raw, real, and respectable sports talk. So let's get to it. First on the docket.
First on the docket.
NBA playoffs.
Of course.
Game 4, Houston versus Golden State. Houston Rockets lose by a franchise record 41
In game 3. And then turn around and losing and winning game 4. Gutsy
Turn around, gutsy performance.
Gutsy.
Come back. It was a great. It was the normal third quarter by the Warriors, and then just out of nowhere, those Rockets came in that fourth quarter and showed up. Do you like Houston's chances to advance to the finals?
They surprised me by winning in what I like to call Wakanda. You know, I was saying last night when Steph Curry get the shimmying, after when he get to doing the shimmy,
Yeah, it's different.
He's activating the vibranium. He's activating the vibranium, and there's nothing that you, me, or anybody else
On this planet.
on this planet could do about it.
That's a fact.
When he starts seeing the ball go in, so to see them withstand that and actually prevail and be tough and hang tough, I think that shows like they can. A lot of people like Houston in 6. I don't know. If they do win, they gonna win in 7. I do like their chances a little bit more, being that they can. It showed them that they can go into Golden State and win. But I think a lot of other factors for Golden State had a lot to do with that loss as well. More so, like I want to give Houston, like you got to give Houston credit. They stayed, they played the way they were supposed to play. They whatever the circumstances were, they didn't worry about that. You got to play with what's going on. Andre Iguodala was out, they took advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Klay Thompson getting hurt in the second quarter, they took advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Iguodala plays and Klay Thompson doesn't get hurt. Do I think it's a different game? Yes, but these are the things you can't control. You got to control what you can't control. So I like their chances. The momentum is back on their side, going back into Houston in Game 5. If they win in 5, if they win Game 5, I think they can advance. But I think that's it right there.
Okay. I mean, I guess we similar, basically on the same page with that. I definitely want to give a round of applause to the Houston Rockets because I did not believe they could win Game 4 in Golden State
After losing by 40.
after getting smacked by 41. So I just definitely want to give them a shout out. You know, I did not know where Chris Paul was this series. You know, to be honest, even the games they won, the one game they won, he just didn't look like.
I think he's been solid.
He's been all right. Nah, he has not been the Chris Paul that they need.
He wasn't the Chris Paul of Utah.
Can you tell? Can
He
you
wasn't
tell
the
it?
Chris Paul.
Let me
So
ask
you
you something.
need
Can
the
you
Chris
tell-
Paul versus
in
Utah.
All right,
That's
so
the
matter of
one
fact,
you need.
and that's what you just seen in Game 4. You can tell the difference between the Chris Paul in Game 4 and Chris Paul in 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, no, he picked them apart in Game 4. He controlled every possession in Game 4.
Every possession. So, you know, I definitely want to shout them out on that. And what I want to even just applaud them even more about is that fourth quarter, they clamped down. I mean,
They did
it
play
was
very good defense in the fourth quarter.
very solid defense. They held the Warriors to 12 points in the fourth quarter. Yes, we understand Klay was out, but you still have Steph
and you have
and Kevin Durant.
Best scorer I've ever seen in my life. My own eyes. Best scorer I've ever seen in my own eyes.
You see? So I'm like, wow. So I give them kudos. I take my hats off to them. But no, I don't see them advancing to the finals.
That's fine. It's still
At
tough.
all.
It's still tough.
You know, if they're going back to Houston, but
We're talking about one of the greatest teams ever.
ever assembled.
And we'll talk about that a little later in the block, too.
They play their best when their back is against the wall. this pressure. They know going into Game 5, that's a must win.
That's going to dictate the series.
Absolutely.
Because Houston is not. I don't think Houston is a team where you can beat 2 times in a row. I don't think they feel like that. Like we can beat Houston twice in a row with the travel. We'd have to go into Houston, so we'd have to lose to Houston, go home, win, and then go back to Houston and win in Game 7. I don't think they disrespect Houston that much.
I believe they feel like, okay, we win Game 5,
Yeah,
we'll come home.
We'll come home
win
and
Game
close
7,
it out.
Game 6.
Yeah,
and close it
definitely,
out.
definitely.
They let Houston win Game 5. They know it's going to be tough for them to come. They'll probably winning, more than likely winning Golden State.
No, they're going to win in Wakanda.
In Wakanda. But it's going to be a crazy atmosphere going for Game 7.
Because Houston hasn't been in this atmosphere in 25 years almost.
So, yes, I applaud them, but I just don't see them getting over that. I just feel the Warriors have way too much firepower. Let's just see, is Clay going to be healthy for Game
I think he'll
5?
be healthy. I think he'll play.
Okay.
But like I said before, I was talking to my friends, and I was like, no Iguodala changes the whole dynamic because
Absolutely.
I think Iguodala was the reason why they jumped out to that lead in Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he had Andre Iguodala. I think him and Draymond Green and Sean, like them 2 guys, and then you want to throw Sean Livingston in the mix. The reason why the Warriors are as successful.
Yes.
I mean, you
Yes,
have the
absolutely.
3 superstar guys, but
4 superstars.
4 superstars. Excuse me. Draymond Green is a superstar. I guess you want to. Yes.
And in that category.
Yeah, definitely.
we
The way
know
the
he's
game is
not
played
that.
and all that. But yeah, I think Andre Iguodala is that piece. He does everything else.
Everything they need. Him healthy changes
Everything.
You see him when they played the Cavs 2 years ago. He had back issues. That same Iguodala would have dunked that ball instead of getting blocked. Remember, he had back issues. He was in and out of the lineup.
He was coming up
couldn't get no elevation.
Remember, he was Finals MVP the year before.
But he had that back problem in that series. He sat out a game. He didn't get no elevation. They didn't know if he was going to be, if he was going to play Game 7. But he played. He tried to fight through it. But as a basketball player, a back injury is one of the worst injuries.
My back was hurting on Sunday. I played in my men's league game in the championship.
Yeah,
Come on, stop doing that. Don't ask questions. Nah, we're not gonna talk about this.
Not right, my fault. I apologize.
Not
But
we won the semis though.
But yeah, so he's a vital piece, and so that definitely hurt him. Only scoring. They jumped out. They did the normal third quarter, scoring 30 plus, jumped out. But that fourth quarter,
That shimmy. And then the crazy part was Steph's fourth quarter, third quarter, I think, was better than the third game, third quarter. Not statistically, but
okay,
I feel like
get
he
it.
hit 4 threes in that quarter though, and like the threes he hit was like, all right,
It's over.
all right.
Like, what are you doing? But
My boy texted me in game 3 like, yo, they just woke the yellow dude up. They woke him up. And
he
he's up.
didn't have a good first quarter.
It don't matter.
In Game 4.
It doesn't matter.
I'm talking about in Game 4.
In game 3.
Game 3, he didn't have a good first and second.
He didn't have a good first half,
right?
And came out and started
Third
bugging.
quarter.
The thing with Steph Curry that makes Steph Curry is so dynamic, I think, is Steph Curry can. I haven't seen who was the last person you've seen score the ball in bunches like that in a time span where you can rattle off 12 in 2 minutes.
That's a serious question.
Yeah, that's a serious question. Yeah, in 2 minutes, 12 in 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You want to say Kobe?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right, cool. And how many years ago was that before we saw Kobe? How many years ago did we see that kind of Kobe?
I mean, he was injured his last 3 years.
My point exactly.
Okay.
And he retired too. So we haven't seen a player do this in the last 5-6 years.
Okay, I give you that. He's great. I'm taking nothing away. I totally understand what you're saying.
He getting to the basket. He finishing
He
dudes.
does whatever he wants.
That shimmy, he started activating the vibranium. I'm trying to tell y'all.
I need that shimmy for the last 2 quarters. I don't need 12 points in the fourth quarter. Golden State.
That's everybody though.
Golden State. We ain't
Okay.
talking about every Golden State with the best scorer that we've probably ever seen. Kevin Durant.
That's why I said it's
and
everybody.
Listen.
Yeah, best light skinned player ever. Yeah.
So we both have Golden State winning this series.
Yeah, I still got him winning in 6.
Okay, so
I still got him. No, yeah, I still got him winning in 6.
and winning 6.
But I would love, of course, I would love to see Chris Paul get to the finals.
I know.
I would love to see Chris Paul get to the finals. I'm still a Chris Paul fan. You know what? I got Houston in 7.
You don't really have them.
I got Houston in
you
7,
don't
bro.
Like,
I got
not
Houston in 7.
You don't really believe it. That's what I'm saying. You're just saying it because you're a fan and you would love to see it happen.
Yeah,
but you
why
don't
not?
believe it
You gotta,
yourself.
But that's a fan. As a fan, you got to be like, from a basketball standpoint, Golden State in 6. As a fan, Houston in 7.
Okay, that's what you're doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm allowed to do it. I can do that, right?
All right, not a problem.
Thank
Do
you.
what you feel.
What's next?
What's next on the docket?
We got Steph Curry. We kind of led into it. Steph Curry finding his stroke back home. How important was Steph to find his shooting rhythm? And who is the most important Warrior, Curry or Durant?
Well, since it's a two-part question,
Kind of answered the first one though.
how
important it was for him to find his shooting rhythm?
Amazingly important. You know, he brings, like you said, that different dynamic. We already touched on it, just to reiterate on it. He brings that different dynamic. You know, it's certain players that can score, and it still could be a close game sometimes. Like Durant went for almost 40 in game 2, but they lost. It's a different dynamic of when you have Steph, when he scores, it's like backbreakers. It's demolishing. He'll break you down off the dribble and step back and shoot a 40-footer. Like, what? Like, it's demolishing. It's detrimental.
Is he the most exciting player to watch in the NBA right now? This is completely not even on the docket.
Is he the most exciting player
to watch?
I think it's. I'll be honest with you. I think yes, him, and also Russell Westbrook.
I don't get excited to watch Russell Westbrook.
When Russell Westbrook because he brings that rage, that intensity.
Yeah.
And he's dribbling down the court, throwing it. So he brings you that different dynamic. I feel Steph is.
I feel like Steph is the most exciting player to watch in the NBA right now. Most exciting player.
I give it to you.
Well, who is more important, Steph or KD?
Who's more important? I guess we could both agree. Well, I say KD is the best player on the team.
Yeah.
He's the best player.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say that being the best player, you're not the
most important
player.
I got to sip the little water. Thank you, Asian. The little water.
Water. So can I say that? I feel because he brings that different.
I'm not getting no water.
Shout out to the water. You know what I mean? It always quenches our thirst, regardless of the pint. But listen, but
I ain't even know they sold waters, nip waters. This is a nip.
I have to say it's tough because when you say the best player, he has to be. Usually, he's the most important.
Answer
player.
the question, bro.
It's tough.
It's
he brings that different dynamic.
It's all right to go against KD. You're not kind of going against him, bro. It's all right.
I don't want to say like I'm going against him. No, it's not true because he is the most important player to their success in the aspect of a different dynamic. Because when he's playing good, the whole aspect of the game changes. When KD's being good, he's a matchup nightmare. So I would say KD's the best player and the most important. I have to say KD is that person because he's the best player on the team.
Okay.
But Steph, he just brings that different dynamic.
I have 2 parts to this whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go neither.
Really?
I'm going to go neither.
Okay, I think I know where you're going this
I'm
way.
going Draymond Green is the most important Warrior.
Okay.
Right? I'm going Draymond Green is the most important Warrior because the Warriors thrive on getting defensive stops, turning those into transition where they're arguably the best team. Since the Showtime Lakers, there hasn't been a team this good in transition. Is that fair to say? Since the Showtime Lakers, when has there been this team that good in transition?
Houston this year, actually, too. But
I don't think Houston is better than Golden State in transition.
Yeah, actually, I think they were number 1 this year in the league. But no, I can understand where you're going with that.
So I think Draymond is the cat because Draymond Green he dictates everything. Defensively, and he causes so many mismatches offensively because he sacrifices so much. You still got to guard him because he still can go off for 3-4 threes in a game. Even though that's not, he's attacking the basket. He can he can make passes for each other. He's guarding multiple positions. He's getting those stops. Usually on the tail, he's getting that rebound, giving that outlet up if he's not pushing it himself.
Okay.
So I think he's the most important person. Like I said, the year LeBron and them won, that whole series changed when Draymond Green had to sit out that game, and that gave the Cavs momentum again.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Do you think there's a difference between most important and most valuable?
Yes.
Okay. So I would put Draymond is probably
The most important person.
most important. Steph is more valuable.
Steph is more. When you say value, the word value, you got to realize which value. When you have something of value, it usually you're able to. If you have something of value, you can always exchange it for something of equal quality, if not better, depending on the situation. And if you have something of value, sometimes usually that attracts other things of value. So my point exactly with this one is Steph Curry being of value was able to attract somebody like a Kevin Durant to add to the value. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's my thing with the whole value thing. So I think Steph is the more important warrior out of those two to answer the question, because I won't do that to you. But I think the most important warrior is Draymond, right?
Because what he does, how the team.
The best way I
clicks
can
and
describe it,
toughness
the
and
Golden
everything.
State Warriors, if Golden State is a car, right? Steph Curry out is like you having a donut on your car. Where your car still gets you to work,
But you won't get there as fast.
you won't get there as fast. And in the back of your mind, you always got to say, I got to get that donut changed because my car is just going to lead to more problems. You know, I might mess up the rim or throw off the alignment or whatever.
So who's the engine?
Them as a whole. Them as a whole is the engine. But what I'm saying is, if like I think
you're
them as
escaping.
I'm not escaping.
I think I so all right.
No,
so them
because
as
I
a-
feel like because you can't say that because even if KD's hurt and Steph is playing and those other three guys are playing, the car still works. The car still works. When Steph goes out and you switch KD and Steph, KD's playing and Steph was out, the car still runs. That's why I put it as a tire instead of the engine. Because if your engine is dead, you ain't going nowhere. It's not like the Warriors just didn't win. They were still winning. It's still a tough team. But when you got, that's why I put it as a donut instead of the engine. If that makes sense.
Okay. All right. I hear your terminology.
I'm trying. You know, I'm trying to sound educated.
No. I get what you're trying to do, and I won't knock you for it. That's an interesting one. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm definitely gonna come back to that.
So you disagree with it?
In the aspect of maybe the engine part, but I gotta really analyze this right now.
Okay.
But
I appreciate that.
no problem, because I like that analogy.
Thank you.
I was gonna ask you some more questions about the car parts.
You
but-
could go ahead. But my whole thing is it's the same thing with KD. Steph is like a donut kind of. But I think
So
Steph
you
is just.
so you feel like they're all tires?
I think they're all four of them are tires.
All four of them are tires.
All four of them are tires. All four of them are tires. But it's kind of hard to put that because all tires are equal in a car. But,
Exactly.
But the thing is, I feel like Klay Thompson is just as important as them other three. If it's not offensively, Klay Thompson, people forget the job that he does defensively.
No, we do not forget that. We do not forget that.
And people forget that. Like
He guards
Draymond Green,
the
Klay
best
Thompson is the reason
guard.
why you can't double the Warriors.
Absolutely. Take nothing away.
So
from
that's
Klay.
why I'm like, it may not, their impact is the same. That's why I think everybody's impact individually, everybody brings a different impact. That's why I'm like, they're all tires.
But I feel everybody's impact is different.
Yeah, but the quality of the impact, what the level of the impact, it may all be different impacts, but not one impact is bigger than the other. That's my whole thing.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think 30 from Steph shows more on a score sheet than 30 from KD or 30 from Klay.
But let me break this down. Let me take this further for you.
Go ahead.
Steph Curry's able to get 30, right? Because now he doesn't have to guard.
No, I understand that part.
Because Klay Thompson
On
is
the
usually the
defensive
guy
end.
guarding. That's why
Yes.
I'm like that impact, one impact, it all
No, absolutely.
kind of ties together. That's my whole thing. Like the reason why a lot of people reason like, yo, the reason why Steph didn't look good the first two games, one, he was on the road, and two, he had to guard. He had
Everything
to
they
guard.
switch, because they switch everything.
They was-
switch
and-
everything.
and they was picking him apart. They were going at him, so now he had to guard.
Every
and to his
possession.
credit,
Every
to
possession.
his credit, he made the adjustment. He probably wasn't aware, like, he probably woke up and he was like, yo, Steve Kerr grabbed him like, yo, my man, you got to guard. He probably grabbed him like, yo, all that is cool. I need you to guard somebody though. You're killing me right now.
It's very difficult to guard James Harden. It is.
But you gotta guard somebody. It's four other dudes out
But
there.
every time Harden get the ball, they bring in your guard, the guy that you're guarding, to set the screen, and y'all switch everything.
So what am I paying you $200 million for?
To try to do what you do, what you've been doing for the last 5 years.
Nah, and then that 5,
He
10,
tries.
10,
Let's not
$15 million.
let's not make it act like he don't
but
try.
that's my point, though. That's my point. But sometimes you can show where he tries and where he doesn't try. But we gotta go to quick commercial break,
Yes, we
right?
do.
Perfect. Tune in to Topics here on IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
And we're back. You're listening to Top Opinions presented in current sports here on IBNX Radio. Next on the docket, some more basketball talk, and we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors, but in the aspect of if they win this title this year, or even if they don't. I mean, I can give you. You can look at it.
Last year's team. Let's take last year's team.
Let's
Let's
take last year's.
It's the same team.
Same team. Are they the best? Are they the greatest team ever?
It's you know what is crazy, because this team didn't even set the NBA record for most wins. But let's take some of the best teams ever. So we're talking about the Showtime Lakers.
Which 85?
Let's talk about let's take 85.
85.
I think 85 was that best
The
Lakers
best-
team.
the
That
best
best
Lakers
Lakers team.
team.
Let's take 85 Lakers. Let's take 72 and 10 Bulls. Right.
Got to 96.
96 Bulls. Want to throw the bad boys in there?
We could throw the 88.
Want to throw the bad boys in there?
89.
Let's throw the bad boys in there. You know, let's throw the bad boys in there. What other team?
Celtics, 86 Celtics.
86 Celtics. Got to throw them in there. That was one that I was missing. I don't think any team in the 70s or 60s could beat the Warriors. I'm just saying.
Okay, but I mean, if you're thinking of the greatest teams, you got to throw one of those Celtics teams. They had
Let's throw Kuzzy, Havlicek, Bill Russell.
what was it?
Let's just
I wrote down some 63 Celtics.
okay, cool.
They had 7 Hall of Famers on there.
Oh, let's throw them in there then. 7 Hall of Famers is a lot. 7 Hall of Famers is a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
We'll throw them in there.
Yeah. I feel like it's tough to say yes, because I personally feel like certain, like, even though they're probably, you can't argue that they are and you can't argue that they aren't. So even if we say yes, I feel like there's certain teams that they would have struggled with that weren't arguably the greatest team ever.
They would have struggled with.
Yeah. Like, I personally think that Chauncey Billups Detroit Pistons team, they would have struggled. They would have struggled with them dudes, because the game was a little bit more physical, and you still had to guard those guys. You still had to guard. You had Rip Hamilton running you crazy, so now Klay Thompson got to run around and do all that stuff. So you basically got guys that are mirror or poor versions of yourself.
But I mean,
in
a
sense.
lot of teams would have problems with the Detroit Pistons. That Chauncey Billups team, because defensive mindedly, like they had
all 5 of them dudes played defense.
all 5.
And they all like Tayshaun Prince. You look around, Tayshaun Prince had 18 points. And Ben Wallace, all that going in there, don't like
Full-time
Draymond Green not
defensive
doing all
player
that.
of the year. No.
Draymond Green not doing all that.
Rasheed Wallace taking you out.
Yeah, come out here. One of y'all got to guard me.
Very difficult.
And then,
Very difficult.
And at this point, what you gonna do? Put Iguodala on Ben Wallace? You gonna grab every offensive rebound?
But we don't even think of them as a top one of the
Only
top
because they
10.
weren't around. They weren't together that long.
They went to what was it? 5 straight Eastern Conference Finals.
Were they together that long? 5?
They went to 5 straight, and then Rasheed came. Then they went to the final.
So you gotta throw them in there then. I want to agree. And then I think that Spurs team that swept LeBron. I don't know if the Warriors is gonna beat that with Tony Parker in his prime, Manu Ginobili in his prime, Tim Duncan in his prime. You had a veteran, David Robinson. That's 4 Hall of Famers right there.
Who?
That Spurs team. The last David Robinson year they won.
That was 2003
3 or something. No, that was
They won in '99.
they won in 2003, right, or something like that. No, they won in 2004.
David Robinson was. I wouldn't.
But he was still on the team, bro.
It's different basketball now, though, because you got to also understand, like, those players would have to guard.
So let's just take that team where Robert Horry stepped in for David Robinson, and the year they swept LeBron. And what was that? 06?
06. Yeah, when he went to the finals, because he came in. Yeah, because he came in 03. So he went to the finals in 06.
Yeah.
Because Miami won 05?
Miami won 05.
Okay.
Detroit won
04.
4. Lakers won 2000, 2001.
No, they won 1, 2, and 3.
Who won in 2000?
2000. Yeah, 2000, 1 and 2. Then who won in 3?
Spurs won.
won
David
in 3.
Robinson's last year, they beat the Nets. Yeah. And then the next year.
That was 2004, the Pistons.
No, the Pistons won at 5.
The Pistons won at 5? So
No. The Pistons, 03, the Pistons won. They had to. Because after the 3-peat, remember Karl Malone and them dudes joined.
Okay.
So who
and they
won
were
in
trying
2000?
to win 4 straight.
Yeah. Who
1,
won
2,
in
and 3.
2000? That's what we got to figure out. Who won in 2000? I think the Lakers won 01, 02, 03.
1, 2, and 3. 04. So we got to look that up. Can y'all look that up for us?
Please.
Who won the NBA Finals in 2003?
2000, just going from 2000 to
2000, just
2000 to 2007. But I don't know, man. I think they would struggle with certain teams, but it's hard. I'm gonna say yes, though.
You'll see.
I'm gonna say yes.
So okay.
Just because those guys individually, those guys' talent is just.
No, we know the Spurs won 2007. Who won in 2000 and
2000? Let's
who
go
won
in 2000.
So no, okay. So you have them as the best team.
I have them as the best team.
2017.
I mean, Kevin Durant makes everything different.
Everything different.
He makes everything different because now
So you take them over the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, because Draymond Green and Dennis Rodman cancel each other out. You're probably gonna put Mike on KD.
Why? Why don't you put Scotty on him?
So who you gonna put Mike on? Steph?
Yeah, why not?
Klay Thompson gonna go bananas, bro.
On the 96 team. So let's do the rundown of the 96 team. You have who started at the 1?
Ron Harper.
Ron Harper at the 1.
He getting
Ron Harper at the 1.
A bad Ron Harper. We're not talking about Cleveland Cavalier Ron Harper. We talking
Ron
about
Harper at the
one-legged, one-knee Ron Harper.
Ron Harper at the 1. Jordan at the 2.
Scotty
Scotty at the 3. Rodman and Luke Longley. Right? Okay. So you have Ron Harper guarding Clay. Right? Jordan guarding Steph. Scotty guarding KD. Draymond and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
And it depends if they go Hampton 5 or what are they going to do? Who you going to start? Well, they probably started big because it's Luke Longley.
Yeah, you're going to start a big because Luke Longley.
So you'll go.
But my thing is, right, those guys, we're talking about Michael Jordan, one of the best, if not the best two-way player, right? Mm-hmm. Scottie Pippen, very good. But the guys that they're matched up with aren't that much inferior to Mike and Scotty. They're inferior to Mike. Everybody on the court is inferior to Mike. But then the inferior isn't here. It's not here.
The
difference in inferior is not here. Like Mike isn't here and Steph is here.
Where is he?
Like here.
I don't agree.
You think it's here?
I think it's a huge.
But that's one person.
Okay.
You're right. But then, so what about KD to Scottie Pippen?
There's nobody can guard KD. But the best person that you can think of to put on KD is Scottie Pippen.
So you think Scottie Pippen is holding Kevin Durant under 25 points?
The only person that's holding Kevin Durant under 25 points is Kevin Durant.
My point is exactly.
Okay, but who's holding Michael Jordan?
Klay Thompson. To 33 instead of 43.
He's going for what?
33 instead of 43.
He's going for 50 on anybody. I don't care who you put on.
Okay, we'll give him the 50. Scottie Pippen. What about Scotty? Scotty getting 30?
Scotty could give you 20.
That's 70. That's 70. So you think them two dudes defensively can stop the Warriors offensively? We're talking about transition.
So
we
understand.
all that
now
stuff.
we're thinking about stops. So we're
talking about an actual
that
game.
Chicago team was one of the best defensive teams as well, right?
But so is this Golden State Warriors.
So we're
team,
thinking
though.
of Draymond Green rebound. Understand who's down there with him.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we know
But he's not getting every rebound. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's
Dennis
not
Rodman
getting
is getting everything he wants.
He's like
Dennis
getting
Rodman
every
is getting
rebound,
everything
bro.
he wants.
He's not getting every rebound, bro.
He's getting everything he wants.
So you mean to tell me, right, that that Jazz team is just as good as that Warriors team?
The Jazz,
That Jazz team that they beat
no,
in 6.
no.
How? So what would the Warriors?
It's a different dynamic though.
But that's my point. So if you're saying
your
that this
point?
Jazz team could go 6 with this Bulls team,
Okay.
and the Warriors are better than that Jazz team, how is it that?
How's what? That they can still lose?
Not that they can still lose, but how is it that it's so like it's you making it seem like it's so different? Like like it's not even close. That's the way you're making it seem. Like you're making it seem like it's not even close.
No, I would no. We would just talk about that comparison. I don't think no. Steph is not.
So Steph is not getting 20 on Mike ever.
I can't say that because of the system. I cannot say that.
That's my point.
Okay.
That's my point. You're not. What I'm saying is you got to guard guys that you're not normally used to guarding.
Okay, and they have to guard guys that they're not used to guarding.
Guys that hold the ball and post you up and do whatever they want offensively.
I understand, but it's a triangle offense.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now it's going through the guard. You already know the triangle offense. You know it, coach. You know it.
I don't know it honestly. It's
You don't?
hard. It's very hard to.
Okay.
That's one of the offenses I haven't really. I'm
That's-
more defensive minded. Like I like junk defenses like the Amoeba and 3-1-1 and all that. I like
Gotcha.
that. I really don't like. I care less about offense. Get a guy the ball, move out the way. Somebody got to help. You got to pass and make the shot. That's my whole thing.
I put it like this. It's gonna be difficult depending on which team, depending on what rules we're playing in, as well.
Good call. That's fair.
Depending on which rules, because now if you're playing in the 90s,
No,
and
it's
you
not a
have-
game. It's not a series.
and
Not a
you
series.
have-
It's not a series. Bulls and 5.
and you could abuse down low,
Bulls and 5.
and then
Bulls
now
and
you're
5.
looking
Steph
at this
gonna
era
activate the
when you can't touch
vibranium
it.
once, but that's
because
it.
if you go to 90s rules, Ron Harper could keep that mitt on your hip. He's not. Now the thing is, now you playing now, you can't touch him. Bye bye.
He
So-
can't play. If you're playing in these current rules, a lot of these guys can't play.
Now who has the better bench?
Warriors. Easily.
That's what
Easily.
I think the X factor comes in.
Easily. But we're talking about a team, so like easily the
Nah.
Warriors, Sean Livingston on Steve Kerr.
That's why I feel like the X factor.
Andre
could go
Iguodala.
They
David
just
West.
have a way more athletic team, veterans. So I understand that.
So what is
but
your answer?
Golden State.
Golden State's the best team ever. Okay.
I
Let's
think.
move on.
I think.
We spent a lot of time on Golden
Huh?
State. Let's move on. We spent a lot
What
of
we
time.
have next?
LeBron. Duh. Duh. Y'all got the same bid.
Go ahead.
Why I gotta introduce everything? Cause why
Why-
you such
we-
a hater, bro?
Why am I hating?
Yo, he dominated game 3 and game 4. He tied the series up. Do you think he can keep the dominance? You think he can keep the dominance going? Can he keep this dominance going? What you at, 41 the other night? Game 4?
You tell me. Like,
I don't know. You wrote it down.
listen.
I know how much LeBron had. I want
How much
you
he had?
to say. I want you to
But
say
you-
how much he had.
But you want me to say it.
Yeah.
Why?
Say it. If I gotta keep doing this Kobe stuff and paying homage, you gotta pay homage as much as I gotta pay homage.
I do pay homage. I give
Why you
LeBron.
yelling? Why
I
you
give
yelling?
LeBron
Why
because
see-
you
why
do this with me
see-
week
see-
in and
you see
week
that?
out.
You see how you
Week
just
in
got
and week
escalated?
out.
You
No,
can't
because you
escalate
do this.
yourself. Stop escalating.
And every
Calm
I
down.
give.
Woosah.
I haven't given him his props. I haven't given him his props. Just answer me that question. I
Nah,
can whoop
nah.
sound when I'm done making my point.
Nah.
First and foremost, I need you to answer this question.
I heard you, sis, but no.
You can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Do I give him his props?
Pressure point.
Do I give him his props?
Pressure point. Get your pressure point. Pressure point. Look. Pressure point. Pressure point.
And just to answer your question, Lakers did win the 2005.
So it was 2000, 2001, 2002.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Then it was the Spurs in 2003 then?
Mhm.
Or was it the Pistons in 2000?
Miami in 2005.
It was Miami in 2005.
So 2004 was the Pistons.
How? But the Lakers went to 4 straight finals.
4 straight 2000s.
Or did the Spurs win one in between?
Nah, it was in between. It was in between. It was in between.
Anyway.
But
Those are the only 2 teams we talked about because everybody else going to lose.
but just to respond to your question, do I think LeBron can keep up his dot? Who's stopping LeBron? Nobody's stopping LeBron. Let's put it out there. You want me to give him his props? I'm gonna give him his props. All right. I understand this. Everybody knows this.
No, this is cold.
LeBron is not the problem. He's
No,
not
this
the
is cold.
issue.
No, this is cold when I'm done right here.
What is it?
Birdman hand rub. I want to hear that.
Okay. Well, keep doing it.
Birdman hand rub.
LeBron not
some respect on his
continuing.
name.
LeBron not continuing his
Put some
dominance is
respect
the
on his
last-
name, Toe.
Last thing. Why are you screaming that?
Because I could.
Can I make my point? Can I make my point?
I got
You actually-
excited.
all right, thank you.
I got excited.
LeBron not keeping his dominance is the last thing on the list of them not making it to the finals. All right? That's the last thing. That's the bottom of the totem pole. Listen,
I'm gonna ask you a spin-off question.
if you list the things that's gonna stop him from getting to the playoffs, if you just throw things out there.
J.R. Smith, George Hill,
No.
Rodney Hood,
See?
Tyronn Lue.
You see? But you know logically as well, but them not having home court advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
Brad Stevens.
Those are two great ones. My man.
Okay?
Man.
Okay? The Cavs role players.
3.
That Boston defense. And then you'll figure out where LeBron comes because for the most part he's been consistent now.
He got
To the-
6 40-point games. He's in elite
Well,
company, bro. Like
that's
64 point
That's cool.
postseason game.
Yeah.
That's a lot. 40. Only Mike A. I think Bernard King got 5. I think LeBron might have broke that record.
Possibly. I mean, but hey, this is what he has to do, right? For y'all. But
I'm not no y'all.
for y'all. That's
I'm
what
a
he
fan.
needs.
I'm not a Cleveland fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
All right.
I'm gonna be a fan whether you win or lose.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Who do you want to win this series?
I'm a LeBron. I'm a fan of LeBron, but I'm not a
Alright.
Cleveland fan.
Who does he play for?
Cleveland? Did I
So
make me
you're
a fan?
rooting for Cleveland, right?
So where the leg is
You're
at?
rooting for Cleveland.
Okay.
You're a LeBron fan who plays for Cleveland, so you're rooting for Cleveland.
Nah, I'm rooting for LeBron.
All right, cool. Heard you, sis.
LeBron
That's
gets
what you
60
say?
and lose. I'm all right.
You all right with that?
I'm all right.
You all right with that?
I'm all right. I'm a fan
Wow.
of LeBron.
Wow.
I'm a fan of LeBron.
Wow.
I'm not a fan of
Wow.
Cleveland.
But like I said, that's not gonna his dominance is not the problem.
As all other stuff.
It's all the other factors that's gonna play.
So do you think that we undermine the role of the role player, or the importance of the role player of all teams? Because especially teams that are dominated by superstars. Like, let's talk about Houston last night.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Tucker has 16 rebounds,
But see,
but that goes unmentioned.
to people outside of that basketball realm, yes, I agree with you. It does.
So do you think the importance of the role player on championship teams gets thrown away or gets tossed to the back because of the dominance of, or because of the way the media portrays our superstars now?
At times. But I believe when it gets to this point in the season, playoff time, those role players have more light shined on them because they need to show 4 away games, not just home games.
Like J.R. Smith.
So they
Like J.R. Smith is the sole reason. I feel like J.R. Smith is the important role player on the Cavs.
But you know what I'm tired of hearing?
What?
I'm tired of hearing when they don't play good that LeBron does not have a team.
Okay. I'd never say that. But okay.
This is what everybody's going to say. LeBron doesn't have a team. LeBron doesn't have a team. LeBron doesn't have a
I
team.
think it showed in game 2 where you get 40, 12, and 10, and you lose. That's everybody else.
Let's be real.
That's everybody else.
It's just that they have not
The
shown
team
up
didn't
at
show up. That's all.
certain
The
times.
rest of the team didn't show up.
Let's not say he doesn't have a team.
He got a pretty good team.
Yes.
Doesn't have a Tristan Thompson played well games 3 and 4.
Listen. He has a team.
See, the problem is they. I think what people say is he doesn't have the team that he's used to having. Maybe that could be an argument. Maybe
And
when
what-
people say he doesn't have a team, he doesn't have the team that he's used to having. Like when you're talking about Hall of Fame, you're talking about
He
Hall of
doesn't
Fame
have
role
that
players.
Alpha 2.
Yeah. Kevin Love is not the Wayne League.
But he's never. But see, I believe that Alpha 2 usually comes in a guard aspect for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You had Wade, then you had Kyrie. You know, now you have a 4 that you're Chris Bosh, but your Chris Bosh was your third option. You know,
Who's better, Chris Bosh or Kevin Love?
who's better, Chris Bosh or Kevin Love? Chris Bosh.
Okay.
That was a serious question.
Yeah, it was. Kevin Love is pretty good.
I've never said that, but you asked me who's better.
Yeah. So you take Chris Bosh over Kevin Love?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you?
Depends on my team, but most likely. Yeah.
Depends on your
I
team.
feel like Kevin Love is a little bit better of a shooter, and I think he's a little bit better of a rebounder.
Okay. Cool.
He's definitely a better rebounder.
Okay.
He's definitely better.
Cool. All right. Not a problem. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about that one. What do you feel?
I agree with you. I think those guys got to show up in Game 5. It's the same thing. Like the dynamic for Golden State, even though they have home court advantage, no, they don't. The two teams that you kind of want to see in the rematch don't have home court advantage, so they're under the same thing. Game 5 is important. Game 5 is very, very, very important. So you have to get those guys. Those guys, J.R. Smith to George Hill. George Hill in Game 3 was getting off to the start he was able to help LeBron get there.
Absolutely.
And then
the reason they got this far is because certain players stepped up at the right time.
Tristan Thompson playing great. So I think it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing.
So we have to take a quick break. When we come back, we have some more basketball talk and some football talk as well. You're listening
And some hockey talk.
And some hockey talk. Wow. You're listening to the topics here on IBNX Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. JC Squared on the air show featuring Jason J-Boy Carey, the socialite JC Squared on the air. Reason Monday is your new favorite day of the week. Music, special guest, celebrity birthday, the daily, student segment, crazy holiday, and today in hip hop. IBNX Radio and the JC Squared on the air show. So much fun, you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. It is. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
I just want y'all to. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I'm mad. Y'all show Tone way too much favoritism. Whenever I gotta use the bathroom, y'all play one commercial and one commercial. That's it. Tone go use the bathroom, y'all play two commercials. I ain't never seen that before. Y'all show way too much favoritism. Cause I'm light skinned. Because I'm light skinned. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna claim. Nope.
Excuse me.
Nope. I don't care.
Our engineer's light skin.
I don't care. I don't care.
All right.
That's what make it even worse.
First and foremost.
That's what make it even worse.
First and foremost, that's not what we're going to talk about.
Okay, cool. I'm just saying favoritism.
It's not at all.
It's favoritism.
Not at all. I don't know how you can say that.
That's favoritism.
What do we have next?
I don't know what we got next. I'm mad now. You tell me what we got next.
So basically,
I love our engineers, by the way. I appreciate
great
our
job.
engineers.
Great job.
I appreciate our engineers. I still just a little jealous. This
So, what did you learn the most from games 3 and 4 in Cleveland?
we just said it. Role players. Guys got to step up at this point. At this point, everything's magnetized. It's not like you're preparing for multiple teams. You're only preparing for one team. So your film sessions are a lot more detailed because they change from game to game. Mm-hmm. So now those same hours that you spend with, all right, cool, this one coach is watching the Celtics, but then we got to turn around and play Detroit in Detroit. So this coach is going to watch film on Detroit. Now, all my coaches I have, if I say I got 5 coaches with me, that's 12 set of eyes that are watching one game with 6 different perspectives, and we're going to combine this, and we're going to figure out the best game plan. So your game has to go up a notch because those guys on them sidelines, they're locked in, and they're trying to fit. They're basically micromanaging almost every possession. So you have to be good literally on every possession. And I don't care who it is, not one man can win on every possession, every time. We just haven't seen it. So I think the one thing I learned about this, for both series, is the role players. P.J. Tucker playing well in Game 2 and Game 4 it doesn't surprise me that they won Games 2 and Game 4. Mm-hmm. J.R. Smith shooting the ball well, George Hill shooting the ball well, Games 3 and 4. It doesn't surprise me that they won Games 3 and 4. Kyle Korver, things like that. Eric Gordon, being aggressive, attacking the basket, getting fouled, scoring at the free throw line, putting pressure on that defense. Doesn't surprise me that they won Game 2 and 4. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the biggest thing that we learned.
I think the biggest thing we learned was nothing. I'm just being totally honest with you. Cleveland has been the same mediocre team all year. Yes, they won 50 games, okay? I'm not taking anything away from that. They won 50 games. And everybody puts the highlight. There's a whole bunch of memes. Oh, Kyrie. With Kyrie, they won 52 games or something like that. Without Kyrie, they won 51 games. Okay. really, let's be honest, basketball.
I'm taking
watchers
Kyrie
and-
over Jordan Clarkson and Jordan.
Let's
any
be
day.
real. Let's just be real. The team is 10 times worse now. Okay, you have the greatness of LeBron, and you have the stop it. You have the greatness of LeBron, and you have the what's the word I'm trying to get right now? Basically, the inexperience of
The rest of the
Boston.
Boston. Ooh, that's a good point. It's a great point. Look at you,
That's listen. I have it from time to time.
Professor Tone.
I have it from time to time.
Yes,
That's the major thing in this series right now. Because certain aspects, if you look at game 4, like game 3, they came out and got punched in their mouth. 1, they've been horrible on the road all
year.
Not all year.
All playoffs.
All playoffs.
They
They were third in wins on the road in the league. And they just got to the playoffs. It's different atmosphere. It's different.
We here.
And when you've never been there before, it's different.
People on your back breathing on your neck while you're
It's
taking the ball
a
out.
different
pulling your shorts
animal.
while you're taking the ball out. Stuff like that.
Different animal.
I get it. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
So they came in game 3 and got punched in their mouth. Their experience, they gained some experience just through the first 2 rounds. Okay, we know what to expect in game 4. Okay, that first quarter they got punched in the mouth. But if it wasn't for them getting smacked like that in the first quarter, they won second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter. They still lost because they were down almost 20, if not 20, in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It was 34 to like maybe 12 or 14 or something like that. So it was that first quarter that really put them in the hole. But that team is just that much better as a team. So I don't think we learned anything different. Cleveland cannot maintain leads. We've seen that all year round, including the playoffs. First round against the Pacers, they jumped out 20, lost the game. You know, they can't maintain leads. They can't maintain that same type of energy. LeBron has to do majority of the work, has to do a lot of the work. Whatever, you know, he's having a career playoff. That's what everybody's highlighting. I just feel Boston is in a right situation to win this series because they have home court advantage.
Okay.
So, no, there was no major factor that I learned in this playoff, in game 3 and 4, that I did not know before.
All right. I'm bad. I apologize that you didn't learn anything. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It happens sometimes.
Karl Anthony Towns
This is
not in a good place. Not good with the T-Wolves right now, he's saying. Not in a good place internally. Should the Wolves trade him for a draft pick?
should the Wolves trade Karl Anthony Towns? So, let me get this straight. This is Karl Anthony Towns, the number one
pick.
overall draft pick, right?
Number one.
Rookie of the year, right? Okay. 21 and 12, correct? Numbers.
All-star.
Okay.
All-star.
All-star.
All-star. Don't forget that part. All-star.
Okay. All right. So I'm just, and also, and the GMs voted 2 years in a row who they would start their franchise with,
And Karl Anthony Towns was the person.
and Karl Anthony Towns was that person. And the question is, should they trade Karl Anthony Towns? Hell no.
Not even if you're Phoenix and you're the number one pick?
No. You know what they should do? Get rid of Tibbs.
Already?
It's turmoil between your best player and your coach.
And your most played player, too, with Jimmy Butler.
Who you're going to get rid of? You're going to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns. And you know what? Let's go for the first pick. Let's go get DeAndre Ayton. He has the potential. We can see that. He has the potential.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have Jimmy Butler and we have Wiggins.
Who?
Exactly. so and it's Tibbs. So, you know, Tibbs, the defensive minded. He has 3 rings, right?
Yeah, he got a couple with Boston. He got 2.
Okay.
He got 3. No, he got 1 with Boston.
Okay. He got like a couple with as a head coach, right?
Nah.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Get him out of here. And I like Tibbs, but if I'm the GM and it's coming between Karl Anthony Towns and Tom Thibodeau, I'm keeping Karl Anthony Towns.
Right, but you made the playoffs with Tom Thibodeau.
Okay. That's cool. So me trading him to get DeAndre Ayton is really going to take us from the 8th seed to the 7th? What?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Not at all.
Okay.
But I feel like you gotta. Is it only just that? You never know. He just may not like Minnesota as a city, and then you might lose him anyway in free agency. If you're gonna lose him, because he's almost up with his rookie contract, right? I think next year's gonna be his last year as a rookie contract because this is his 3rd year in the league, right?
Okay.
Or is it his 2nd year in the league?
It's 3rd.
It's his 3rd year in the league. So next year is his last year. He's gonna be a free agent anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So we may lose him anyway.
If it's term, so that we're big. If that's what you're
well,
gonna
my whole thing is right. You get a coach and it don't work out, you lose him anyway.
Okay, so you're about to lose him anyway. So at least try to do something to keep him,
or try to get something so that you don't.
You don't want to try to do something to keep your best player that y'all froze out in the first playoff series. Would you not try as a
I
GM,
wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him.
Thank you.
I
Okay.
wouldn't trade him. Nah,
Okay.
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't trade him.
So now you give me your response.
Nah, I just told you I wouldn't trade him. Like, nah, we're gonna figure this out. What do I have to do
With
to keep
Tibbs.
you here?
Okay.
You got all of y'all. What are we doing? If this is not the case, then you got to see because you got Thibodeau is just not the head coach. Remember, he's also president of basketball operations.
Okay. He can still get fired. I'm just
You
saying.
can still get fired, but
Absolutely.
it's harder to You did this. This is his first year, so if we're talking from a GM standpoint, you're in a tough spot. You see what I'm saying? So if you're able to trade that first #1 draft pick and then get a couple more draft picks down the line, you might take the initial blow, but it might come back and help you a little bit better because now you get to draft the guys that fit the guys that you want. With
Who
Thibodeau.
fits more than Cat?
I'm just saying, obviously, Cat was there before Thibodeau. Now, it all depends if you're the GM. That GM, if he's more of a Cat guy than Tom, but if he's more like Tom Thibodeau's my guy, and you say all right, let's just say Phoenix, you trade him #1 pick for Phoenix, right? You get the #1 pick this year, and then you get two first rounders, 19 and 20.
I don't know no GM that will pick their coach over their franchise player.
True, but I'm just saying. I'm just talking for argument's sake. I'm not trading him. If you want my answer, I'm not trading him.
All right, so I don't want the argument.
Okay, cool, perfect. We're moving on to.
Let's move on to some NFL.
Perfect.
Recently, what came out today?
It came out today.
The NFL passes a policy that players now must stand for the national anthem if they are on the field, but can remain in the locker room if they do not want to stand for the national anthem. How do you feel about this new policy?
Finally got it right. You finally did something right. You finally did something right. You didn't pick your players over the brand, and you're still working. You're not offending those fans who felt offended. Mm-hmm. So guys can stay in the locker room because it's kind of be like an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And they get to exercise their First Amendment. Kneel still, don't do whatever you got to do. And then when it's time to come play football, let's go play football. And let's get these fans something that they came to watch. But if you are out there, don't offend the people who may feel offended because we don't want to offend you either. So I think there was no right or wrong. There was no correct way to do this. You had to find a happy medium with this situation. That's what I'm saying. You got it right because you were able to find the most logical, happy medium. These are the lesser of two evils. It's either we're going to keep pissing everybody off and we're going to keep pissing our fans off, we're going to keep pissing our players off, or just let them stay in the locker room. The people who's out there they got to stand. And that's it. That's the happy medium. We can't side with one or the other. We can't. Because at the end of the day, this is a professional business, but it's still a business. Mm-hmm. So I think this was the happy medium. I'm okay with this for now. Now let's see how this works. But I'm okay with this for now.
Okay.
Go ahead. You disagree.
No, I wouldn't say I disagree. I was tossed on this. When I seen it, I was like, okay, all right, I get it.
That's my whole point. I get it.
Now, playing devil's advocate,
go ahead.
I was a little disturbed because I feel like they just putting a Band-Aid over it. They're trying to hide it. this policy, to be honest with you, has always been in effect. They just put it in writing, right?
But I think
now you choose to put it in writing and put it out there. Like, okay, why didn't you say this before when the whole thing was happening? Like, you know what? All right, we understand that, but you know, you could go in the locker room. The protest changed everything. Now they're trying to save face. Okay, now everybody talk about, you know, because everybody was like the NBA. The NBA had this policy already. They've been had this policy. And, you know, everybody here is, oh, you need to be more like the NBA in certain politics.
But the NBA is smarter than the other organizations or the leagues because they they advocate for the victims.
Absolutely.
By creating T-shirts and letting these players wear. So you're going to stand, but you're also going to get to voice your opinion because you're going to wear these T-shirts. And we're going to zoom on you watching these T-shirts and wearing these T-shirts and warming up in our T-shirts. But you're still going to stand and still show that respect to those people who deserve that respect.
Now, this is why I feel this avenue is just to shut some people up. That's what it's for.
Yeah,
Put a Band-Aid
definitely.
over it. But
you couldn't leave it open, though. You couldn't leave it open. You couldn't leave the wound open.
No, and
That's
I
why I said
understand it's a
happy
business
medium.
and you want to
That's why I said
save
it's a
face
happy
and you don't want to lose certain sponsors, so you can't have.
You already lost one.
You know, it's all about money. But they lost. Who did they
Papa
lose?
John's.
Papa John's, but they gained
Pizza
Hut. So, at the end of the day,
I'm pretty sure they lost a couple more that we probably don't know about, but you know.
Listen, it's all about money with them. They signed that huge deal for them to start, you know, when they started doing
it's
the
all
Patriot
about money.
Act during for the civil service and everything like that. It's all about money. It's just to shut us up. So I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Of course.
I don't really like it. It's cool. It's cute. But you're not.
You didn't fix anything, but you kind of just you put a bit, like you said, you put a band. It's a happy medium. You're not gonna fix that
because the right way
Cap
to gonna get a job now?
Because the right way to fix it, you're gonna piss off all the fans.
Is Cap gonna get
That's
a job?
the right
now?
way to fix it.
Is Cap gonna get a job? No. So now you put this in effect. This, that, and the third. Like, I don't want to hear. It's garbage. I don't want to hear it.
Well, you could have told him stay in the locker room and let him.
Garbage.
Let him stay in the locker room and
garbage.
let him
I don't like
keep
it.
a job.
Get him out of
That's
here.
a good point. I'm not arguing with you.
No, I know. I'm not saying that
I'm
you
not
are.
arguing with you.
I'm just voicing my
I
opinion.
agree,
feel it was
but
a
in
Band-Aid.
terms of this policy, being local, I mean, being public, it's like, it was, like I said, it was lesser of two evils, either Clinton or Trump. Lesser of two evils. You know, you got to pick one. All right, cool. Because you had to, because the right way to fix it is like, no, there's a bigger issue going on in our country that hasn't been resolved, and they have every right to voice their opinion.
Absolutely.
Because this is the product that we're putting on the field. You guys are paying money to come see them, and they're expected to perform above and beyond every Sunday for you guys, where they could be doing, right? And they aren't really paid that handsomely. They're really risking their lives every time they get hit.
Absolutely.
To perform for you guys. And you guys are mad because they're kneeling over what's going on and what's happening in their communities. So you're not, because you're going to lose a lot of money. So you're not going to say that because you don't care.
Because it doesn't affect them.
It doesn't affect them.
At all.
So this was the happy medium.
All right, enough with these politics.
The Cleveland Browns will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks this year. You think all this newfound attention on the Browns, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
If I'm a Brown, it's great.
Listen.
If I'm a Brown, I'm happy.
Listen.
But if I'm a fan, this is horrible.
It's better than watching the Buccaneers.
Why?
Because it's got so many new faces.
Let me tell you, the Browns is just the only good thing about the Browns is they got Baker Mayfield. That's a bright spot. Like it's something to talk about. But let's just be real. This franchise has been horrible for the last 18 years, however long, since 99. Listen, since 1999, since they came back to the NFL, because they had a hiatus, understand, from 94 or 95 to 99, okay? They had 2 winning seasons. I'm going to repeat this for the listeners.
In 20 years, they've had 2 winning seasons.
From 99, they had 2 winning seasons. And out of the 2 winning seasons, they went to the playoffs once. And you want me to get excited about Hard Knocks to watch the Cleveland Browns. Is LeBron going to suit up? That's the only thing I'll be excited for. Oh, LeBron is going on the field. Tight end, I don't care. Look, LeBron is going to be there. Tune in to Hard Knocks. The LeBron Browns is on.
LeBron Browns is on.
Nobody want to hear or see the Cleveland Browns on Hard Knocks.
I do. I'll watch it.
Why?
I like the show. I like the series Hard Knocks. So when it's on, like, it was kind of like a family thing when I was home. Like, my stepmom, she would come home from work, she'd watch it. Well, my stepmom was a diehard football fan.
Who'd you watch?
We watched the Jets one year. We watched I don't know. The Giants was on. Was the Giants on? I don't know the Giants. The Bengals, the Buccaneers. I keep forgetting, like, it changes every year. The Texans.
You know what? I see the trend here.
What's the trend?
All the worst teams are on Hard Knocks.
Yeah. The Jets was pretty good. That's when we had Rex Ryan and we had Darrell Reeves. Though. We was competitive though.
And the Texans was good that year too.
No, the Texans was bad that year actually because that was the year they got. That was the year they got Davion Clowney. That was his rookie year, and they remember he got hurt.
Okay.
He got hurt. So, but the year before that they were pretty good. But I think like for Hard Knocks, you're gonna make a lot of money off this because
Who?
HBO people gonna tune in. You get to see Baker Mayfield. You get to see was it Bradley Chubb? What was it, Nick Chubb? Bradley Chubb. Which Chubb? You got Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry.
Nobody wants to see the Browns, Chris.
So people wanted to see the Buccaneers last year, bro?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because they actually had they had
Jerry McCoy.
Who from the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
They had Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Yeah.
They just signed the wide receiver. What's his name?
Deshaun Jackson.
Then they had the other receiver, Mike Evans.
And Gerald McCoy, their best player.
So I'm saying they had players that you know of. And didn't they go to the playoffs the year before?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually watching a team
and then what happened this year?
We're not talking about what happened afterwards, but we're talking about a team that was exciting with young talent that's supposed to get them over the hump. Now, we're talking about looking at a team that has not won in damn near 20 years,
so
Chris.
Who would you want to watch on Hard Knocks?
The Giants.
Besides the Giants. Because that'd be boring.
You think so?
That'd be boring.
You know how much press would be around that?
You know,
it
would be boring.
The Jets were on there, and
it was boring.
No, it was boring for the Jets?
Only reason why it wasn't because Rex Ryan's personality. The Giants would be boring. It would be Odell Beckham. Who you gonna have? Eli? Down syndrome Eli?
Did you see his commercials?
Eli.
His commercials is right.
Eli.
Saints would be exciting.
Eli.
I think the Saints would be good.
This is Eli.
Falcons would be good.
This is Eli on Hard Knocks. You ready?
But I'm naming teams that would be better.
Listen.
I don't want to listen to any of that.
Eli.
No, I don't want to hear any of that.
This is Eli on Hard Knocks.
Go ahead.
That's it. For 6 weeks on HBO every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, you're going to tune in and you're going to see this.
Well, with that silence, let's take a quick break. You're listening to the topics here on
When y'all
IBNX
come back,
Radio.
I'm going to be just like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. T.C. Squared on the air show featuring Jason, J-Boy, Kerry, the socialite T.C. Squared on the air. Reason, Monday is your new favorite day of the week. Music, special guest, celebrity birthday, the daily, student segment, crazy holiday, and today in hip hop. Check out IBNX Radio and the J.C. Squared on the air show. So much fun you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media. Day Ray!
And we're back. You're listening to Topics here on IBNX Radio. And Chris is still being Eli on Hard Knocks. So, next up, keeping it football, keeping it previous Cleveland, Brown. I would be more excited to see him.
The Eli?
Johnny Manziel signs a 2-year deal in the CFL with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Was this a good move, and could the CFL help him land him back in the NFL?
Call me Eli.
First and foremost, Chris. you know what? You know what? I'm gonna
Me
need you.
being petty and light skinned. I haven't been petty and light skinned in a few weeks. No, that he ain't getting back in the damn NFL. If you enjoy the sport, you love this sport. Yes, it's good for you because you're now getting paid again to play a sport that you love. So let's not take this for granted. A lot of people out here that want to play the sport that they love, but they can't get paid. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that?
There's a lot of people that's out here that would like to get paid for what they love.
All right. So with that being said, yes, good job, Johnny Manziel. Congratulations.
Okay.
You getting back in the NFL? Hell no. NFL they don't even look at it. I don't even think the NFL knows when the CFL games come on. Only the championship is tuned in on ESPN. It'd be like ESPN, and the game is like 11 o'clock at the Sports Center. They show you the second half of the game at the Sports Center. So no,
Okay.
he ain't getting back in the NFL. It's over. It's over, Hova.
So
And you got to realize Johnny Manziel was out of the league for all the other stuff. You got to realize the other stuff. You got to tackle the other stuff. When you're a professional, you got to tackle the other stuff outside, off the field.
Absolutely.
You were a rookie. People wasn't like, yeah, you went to the Browns, but if you would have performed bad and just would have been liked off the field, you would have still been in the NFL.
I take nothing away from that.
So no. Do you feel like he's had a great change? No, I don't feel like he's changed. I feel like if anything, they made a excuse for him. Depression and anxiety is very, 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 very severe. You heard other players talk about it. You talk about people killing themselves, thinking about killing themselves, not wanting to get out of bed. Johnny Manziel acted like a spoiled, rich, privileged kid that didn't get his way and threw temper tantrums. And it finally didn't go his way, and he was like, we're getting rid of you. He didn't act like somebody who was depressed, anxious. Wasn't talking about killing himself. This is serious. So for y'all to be like, or bipolar, like these are serious conditions that we're talking about. So no.
Okay.
Hell no. I pray to God he don't get back in the NFL. Hell no.
Wow.
No, man, you blew that chance. You blew it.
I'm not here to, first off, I want to say I respect your response and how you feel on it. I would never tell you you're wrong about, the conditions and everything like
Something
that.
that I personally feel like I suffer with? Hell no.
So I would never tell you you're wrong with that. But this is the part of the show where I tell you you're wrong and I prove you wrong anyway, because this is what I'm good at. So anybody that watches the show and tunes into the show.
And prove me wrong?
Yeah.
Every week you prove me.
Every week I prove you wrong.
Okay,
it's just part of the job.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it just happens.
You're going to prove me wrong how he gets back in the NFL. That's what you're going to prove.
I'm going to prove to you that this is the best step to get back in the NFL.
Because it's the only other football league. The only football league is in Iceland.
Wherever
Or
you
Poland. No, Poland.
Wherever you want to look or whatever, that's fine.
He's going to play in the XFL. He's going to get kicked out of the CFL and play in the XFL in 2020.
Listen, I cannot say, did he make strides off the field? So-called. I'm not with him 24/7. I don't know. I've heard he made strides. He got married. He went back to rehab. So he got so-called his life back together off the field. That's why he's making the transition now.
Because he
back
got
on the
married?
field. I'm not in his room. I'm not in his life. I don't know. I'm just going from the out. I can only speak from the outside looking in. So, with that being said, now he's making the transition back on the field. The CFL is the best place to go.
It's the only place to go.
Regardless of the fact, if you feel that way, there's the European League. All right, that's fine. Even if it's the NFL does look at the CFL, just to let you know.
Okay.
They do.
Okay.
Now, the reason I know this is because there's players that have transitioned from the CFL.
I'm pretty sure they have.
You have Joe Theismann, Super Bowl winner. And Warren Moon.
30 years ago.
Regardless of the fact.
Okay.
It happened before.
In the last 10 years. Who was transited from the CFL?
It's not even about Jeff Garcia, but that's a little bit
20 years ago, bro.
All right, that's fine. It doesn't matter if it's 20, 10,
things change, bro.
What the change?
The
What
3-point line changed.
What does that mean?
So
that means nothing. So that means that they was not a player that they wanted to look at.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
So you think Johnny Manziel's going to get in?
Right or, was he not a top 5 pick? Was he ever like you said to me and to everybody listening,
Johnny
it
Manziel
was not
wasn't a top 5
it
pick.
listen to what I'm saying. It was not about his play on the field, correct?
Right.
It was not about that. It was his play off the field, right? All right? It's how he acted off the field. So with that being said, if he so-called got his life together off the field, right? And he's making in his transition. Now you're in the CFL where they do look, regardless of the fact, we don't know ins and outs of players. There's receivers that have gone to the CFL that have transitioned back over. We just have to do our research. But the ones that I named with Jeff Garcia, Doug Flutie, okay, 20 years ago, regardless of the fact, we're talking about quarterback. This is what we're talking about, all right? So with that being said, that is the next step to show. They will look at it because it's Johnny Manziel.
You know why I disagree?
Just
with you?
because it's Johnny Manziel, they will look. Why?
Because I feel like Johnny Manziel, the media has heightened in the last 30 years as well. So the
Okay.
media, if you don't attack, it's very, very, very hard to re-clean that image or reshape your image once you're painted in a negative light.
Okay. If he goes to the CFL and goes ham, does work, understand it's 12 defenders now in the CFL instead of 11. So now you're playing against more defenders. Somebody that you think open might not be open. So now you have to read different things. Now he's going to a good pro-style offense because he's going to June Jones, will be his head coach. They're looking at all these aspects. Will they bring him in as a starter? No, but you never know. He can get another shot because of this situation.
I said it was a good situation. It was the only situation. It was a good situation
Because
for him. But
you're
is he
saying it's
getting
the
back?
only situation
Is he
for him
getting
getting
back
back.
in the NFL?
That would be
No.
his best spot to get back.
It's only-
Definitely, it would be a great situation for him to get back, going to the CFL and doing work. He would. I tell you this: if he goes there and puts up great numbers,
You gotta
he will
look
get a
at
shot.
it.
He will get a shot.
You gotta look
He
at it.
will get a shot.
It's great PR.
He will get picked up, regardless of the fact.
It's great PR.
All right.
It's great PR. He'll never touch the field. If yo, listen, I'm
It's all
telling you
about
this.
getting back.
Yo,
So
my man,
now we're looking at a
my
different
man,
aspect. Him
listen
touching
here,
the field.
listen
We're
to
talking about him getting
listen
a
to
shot
this.
back to play
Listen
in
to
the
this.
NFL.
Listen to
Go
this.
ahead.
I'm
Go
telling
ahead.
you this right now. Even though you didn't prove me wrong, you just
Go ahead. I
stated a
did.
different opinion.
No, I
You,
proved
nothing
you
you said was fact.
Yes, it is. All right. No, it is facts because I'm telling you, you said you hardly even look at him. That's what you said.
That's the only thing that's fact. All right, people 30 years ago. But in terms
But no,
of
it
in
doesn't
terms
matter.
of Johnny,
You just said
yes,
it's not
no,
a
no,
fact.
no.
That is
in
a
terms
fact.
of Johnny Manziel, what you stated in Johnny Manziel was all opinion. Wasn't fact. He
I
hasn't,
said
he hasn't
I
thrown
said,
a ball
I-
yet.
all
It's
right,
not
it doesn't
fact
matter.
because he hasn't thrown a
the
ball
fact,
yet. No,
the fact that
no,
I said
no,
because you
no,
said there was no
no.
players that never came from there. Do I even look at him? Yes, they do.
All right, cool.
Was that a fact?
All right, my whole
was
point
that a
is
fact?
That's a fact. I
All
gave
right,
you
so
that.
that's all
a
that matters.
fact.
That's all
No,
that matters. I
That's
stated
not
a
all that
fact.
matters.
I
But
stated-
how did you prove me wrong? Because he hasn't thrown a football yet.
Because I said they do look at them.
No, you haven't proven me wrong because he hasn't thrown a football yet.
Okay.
You're saying if. How is it? How you proving me wrong with if? Everything you said about Johnny Manziel was if he does this, if he does that. That's not a fact. That's not a fact,
listen,
bro.
Listen, I stated facts in what I was saying.
So how did you prove me wrong
I
with
proved
Johnny
you wrong
Manziel?
listen, you said
He hasn't even gotten there yet. He's still in
It doesn't
America.
matter.
So how did you prove me wrong
What are
already?
we talking about? We're not talking about that. We're talking about when he goes to the field, when he does, when he gets there, right? Because you made your statement. Your statement was
No.
Your statement was this. Him going there means nothing because, and then you said, oh, do they even look? Okay, so they do look at it. So it is the best
Yo, bro,
situation to go to
can't name
get
me-
your shot.
You can't name me a person.
Now it's
in the
name me a
last,
person.
I said that.
Now
So
it's
you
name me a
can't. I
person.
said that. I said you
There's
can't name me a
your
person.
original statement. Because your original statement was does do even look. Now I name people, but now
And then
you're.
I said in
you're
the last
arguing-
20 years,
but
you
now
said
your
we gotta do
argument
our
after.
research.
Now
Now,
you're
I
arguing.
said that when you
now
said your
you're
statement.
yeah, but now you're bringing another argument.
No.
The aspect of the original
No.
statement. Now
No.
you're bringing different aspects to it. That's corny.
How does this?
That's
how does,
corny.
No. How does
You're
this?
bringing
How does
you're bringing
how did
different
you,
aspects.
So you
to it.
proved me wrong that they look right. Cool. 30 years ago. Perfect. All right.
doesn't
That's
matter.
a fact.
Stop bringing
That's
that
a
30
fact.
years ago
That's a
fact.
fact, right? So, but you proved me wrong about that, right? So what else did you prove me wrong about? Or that was the only thing that you wanted to prove me wrong about? That
I
they
proved
look.
you. So let me ask you something. So him going to this situation is not the best step to get back to the NFL.
Again,
just
it's
answer the question.
only
Yes or no.
situation. Yes, because it's the only situation.
If you
bro.
feel that way. If you feel that
What
way.
other situation
If
does he
you
have
feel
to
that
get in
way.
the NFL?
So you feel if he, it doesn't matter.
Answer the question.
'cause
Why
the
do I
aspect
answer your
is we're
question?
talking about the CFL. Now you're saying, oh, now you're bringing different aspects to it. You're bringing different aspects to it.
You can't, that's like saying, what's the best way to pay your bills? Either you get a job or you don't.
That's not the only job. That's not the only way. That's not. It's not. It's not.
Bro.
It's not.
He's not getting in the back in the NFL, bro.
Okay, I feel he is if he does his work.
If.
Moving on.
If.
Moving on.
If.
Moving. All right.
If.
That's what we can go off, right?
Big if.
Okay, but you feel he's not. You feel he's not.
Yeah.
That's your opinion, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my opinion is, if he does work, he will.
I guess.
All right.
We'll see.
moving on to some football.
If he get in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick don't get another job, I'm not watching NFL. Dead ass. How about that? We can go to the next topic. I'm cool. He like Johnny Manziel.
Go ahead. Nah, I just like that topic.
Why do you that topic? Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. People got to see us argue. Hey, everybody that watching and never watched this before, we argue every day. We work together. Fooled you. Ha ha. Fooled you. Ha ha. Because after the show, we're going to be like, yo, what we going to eat after this?
Absolutely.
Terrell Owens wonders why Jason Garrett, was it Jason Garrett?
Mm-hmm.
Still has a job. Cowboys head coach. You agree or disagree?
Yes. Why does he still have a job?
I agree with you. I don't know why he got a job.
Jason Garrett.
I feel like he's underachieved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Has he ever made it? Has he made it past the wild card?
You know why? Because they were first, so they had a bye.
Oh, when was that?
Last season, not this
was
one.
Was Zeke and them rookie year?
Yeah, their
Okay,
rookie year.
and then they lost.
And they lost to the Packers.
Lost to the best quarterback, second best quarterback in NFL. Okay, yeah.
So, absolutely, I agree.
And then he did nothing with Tony Romo.
He did nothing.
Tony Romo, like you said, Tony Romo was one of the better regular season quarterbacks.
Because if you look at his regular season
I'm
record,
not disagreeing with you.
67-53. Okay, you know, career he's 68-55 because he has a postseason of 1-2. He's been head coach since 2011. Any coach,
7 years.
7 years,
What do you mean
and this is supposed to be America's team. Understand, people? We're not just talking about the Bengals. All right.
So when you coach it, when you think you coach a high-profile team like America's team, you have to. It's a higher standard than just most other.
Absolutely.
Coaches. Okay.
Just like.
Okay. And another thing with Johnny Manziel, real quick, you said there's 12 defenders. He couldn't play with 11 defenders. What the hell you think he's gonna do with 12?
Because he already had them.
I'm just saying.
I'm done.
I'm just saying.
I'm done.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
done.
I'm just
done.
saying, bro. I'm just
Listen.
saying. At the end of the day, it wasn't like he was straight killing.
No, he's not.
He wasn't like he was straight killing it.
But
he
he
did a
had
whole bunch
weight,
of other
like
stuff.
you said, he had a lot of issues off the field. But listen, back to this Jason Garrett.
Go ahead. Bring it back.
On America's team,
Go ahead.
3 straight starts of 8-8. So you, all right, out the gate. Then you
middle of
had
the pack.
middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Then you had a breakout season in 2014. You went 12-4. Went to the playoffs. They went 12-4 when they had DeMarcus Murray. And he rushed for the.
He bugging that.
He went crazy.
Bugging. He lost.
And they lost.
And they lost.
They lost. So they underachieved. I don't know no NFL coach that will keep their job for this long underachieving in this type of spotlight.
Last time they won was with Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yes. And Jimmy Johnson got booted.
Jimmy Johnson got booted.
Tom Landry got like
Jimmy Johnson got one at the U and
Jimmy Johnson and I forgot the other guy's name. He also. But this is mediocrity. Like, how does he still have a job? The only other person that you can even speak of is the Bengals coach, and we don't understand how he kept a job for this long. I don't. But
Marvin?
Marvin Lewis. He's kept a job. Listen,
They said that he's great in the locker room.
Okay.
They say he's great with players.
Can it transfer to the field? Please. Can it? But we
We
were
kind
able
of
to talk
helped
about.
Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man Jones was facing life.
They get all the mentally crazy. Listen, that's what they do, and he tries to reform that. Listen, and it's great. Okay, regardless of the fact he shouldn't have a job. But we're talking about America's team. I don't understand how he has a job. 1 and 2, 3 playoff appearances. No, 2 playoff appearances. Right, 2 or 3. Regardless of the fact he's 1 and 2, he's won 1 since 2011 for America's team.
And the rest, they just didn't make the play.
No. And the reason I really only feel that he's kept his job, because he started off as an assistant and he got moved up, is because he's the puppet.
Okay.
He can be controlled. Jimmy Johnson was not being controlled. Like, he's going to say, like, yo, I need this, that, and the third. No. He didn't like that. They bumped heads. As soon as they bumped heads, you're out of here. I gave you 3 championships. 2 championships. And then I forgot the one.
Hall of Famers.
Listen.
Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith. He's Hall of Famers.
And I still got booted. I still got booted. No, it's me. Come on. He should not have a job. So I agree with T.O. Team T.O.
Team T on that one too. Like,
Absolutely. So
you think this is like if he don't win this year, it's over?
Probably not. I don't.
It's so weird.
I don't know. I
Moving
have no
on.
idea. I have no idea. Moving on, keeping it football. Teddy Bridgewater shows a very strong performance in the Jets OTA. Do you think he will be the Jets starting quarterback once the season begins?
Yeah. Yes. If he continues, yes. I have to agree with you. You said a couple 1 weeks back, this is like you drafted Sam Darnold, bring him along slowly. You want to ruin his career. Teddy Bridgewater has a 1-year deal. Even if you throw 1 year away with Teddy Bridgewater, you don't win. It's cool because we wasn't going to win the Super Bowl anyway. We traded Christian Hackenberg to the Raiders for a pick. I think the Jets came out and said that was a bad draft pick. That was a mistake. They made a mistake with that one. I don't know why they drafted him.
That's your team.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I just don't want to cheer for
Eli Manning. Listen, don't worry. We're going to have a good year.
I hope they do. I'm an Eli fan. I just don't want to watch him on Hard Knocks for 6 weeks.
I get you. But there's other teams that I would see rather than the Browns, but I get it.
Cool.
I said I would like to see the Saints. I wouldn't mind seeing the Saints. The Saints would be good.
Vikings. I want to see the Vikings.
Vikings would be all right.
Even the Eagles. Like, why not the Eagles?
The Eagles. That's very interesting. I think a team with personality, you know. Even Jacksonville might be interesting.
Yeah, no.
Team of personality.
I feel like Baker Mayfield going to get in a fight on episode 1.
Why?
It's Baker Mayfield.
What? All right. All right. You might be right.
He
but
might get into a fight with somebody.
Just to respond
Somebody
to that
going to call him a
question,
rookie and he going to just beat him up or something. I just feel like Baker Mayfield.
That's crazy.
Baker Mayfield tapped, bro.
That's crazy.
He's tapped.
That's
like,
crazy.
He's tapped. But I'm
We'll
cool
see.
with Baker. I'm good with Baker. But I think he will be the starter. I think
I think if he continues, I guess, this play, it might be a possibility. But I think their number one is Josh McCown just now because of what he did with nothing last year. And he did get hurt. So, I mean, I do feel he is their number one guy.
So Sam
It's him
Darnold's
to
3
lose.
right now.
Yes.
The third pick is 3.
Yeah, but
This is backwards. This is
no,
completely
no,
backwards.
but
Doesn't make any sense.
listen to what I'm saying.
Now, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, as a GM, why am I drafting a quarterback if I draft him
Because
number 3?
No, because the reason they drafted the best quarterback, right, is because they know that
Teddy
these two
Bridgewater.
players are
Gone.
gone. So we're gonna bring him along slowly. If one gets hurt, one is injury prone. Both of them injury prone actually. If one
Very
gets
injury prone.
If one gets hurt, I still have the other one. I can still bring along my rookie until it's showtime. Understand? We'll probably be towards the lower of the pack towards the end of the season. All right, I need you to start these last 3-4 games, 5 games maybe. So let's you know what I'm saying? That Sam Darnold being the third option right now could, you know,
That's the
if
best third option in football.
If the season goes awry, he can go from third, okay, it's time for you to start, and just skip over the second. You know, so I mean, I get it. I like that Teddy Bridgewater is making it interesting, having a great OTA because he's a good quarterback, just injury prone.
Very.
Hockey.
Hey.
Hockey. The Las Vegas Golden Knights reached the Stanley Cup Finals
They won 4-1.
in their first year of existence.
Against the former Atlanta Predators, who are now the Winnipeg Jets.
Winnipeg Jets. We talked about it. We figured that out too.
We
a
did
couple
figure
weeks
that
ago.
out. Messed that up.
How likely is it that they will win the Stanley Cup Finals?
Very likely.
That's a fact.
It's very likely.
That's very valid.
And through odds, right? I was looking at this. Through odds, they are the most unlikely championship. If they win, they're going to be the most unlikely champion to ever win. I don't think it's more unlikely. They made a comparison to Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. So Buster Douglas had a better chance of beating Mike Tyson than they do have winning the Stanley Cup. That 85 Villanova team had a better chance of beating that Georgetown team than the Golden Knights winning.
Wow.
And there's other odds. There was some other unlikely odds. I forgot. And I think this is like the first time. I think the last time team went to the Stanley Cup in their first year, I think, in hockey was like 1968.
Wow.
So I think that's like 50 years or something like that I was reading. But I think at this point, how is it unlikely? Now the odds, in my opinion, once you get there, 50-50. And the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals are in a 7-game series. They're playing in Game 7. I'm home chilling.
Sometimes rest isn't always as good, though. You know, sometimes it doesn't. Having those days off, you need to stay sharp. Sometimes it does. We've seen that in NBA playoffs.
No, definitely. But I think these guys are riding the wave, and I think there's no I think the Golden Knights have a good chance because there's no pressure. We lose, so what? Like, you want to win as a player, but
and if the Capitals make it, they have all the pressure. Like,
all the pressure.
Can Ovechkin win one?
Can Ovechkin finally win one? He got past Sidney Crosby, almost like Chris Paul.
Absolutely,
Almost like Chris Paul.
that's definitely a fact. That's what would be like Houston playing Boston in the finals.
I like to see that because I like Chris Paul. I just do. But yeah, man, I think it's very likely. I think it's good for the sport. I think it's good for hockey. The expansion draft worked out for them crazy because the players that they got. So people that don't understand how the expansion draft works, the expansion draft, whenever there's an expansion team introduced into a sport, all the other teams, you have a certain amount of players that you can claim as undraftable. Everybody else has to go into that expansion draft. And then if they're drafted by that team, then you lose them. But if not, then I think you can re-sign them or whatever the case may be. That's what happened. That's what broke up the Bad Boys. People forget. That's what broke up the Bad Boys. Minnesota came in, and Rick Mahorn got drafted. They didn't claim Rick Mahorn, and Rick Mahorn went to the Minnesota Timberwolves. People don't.
Okay, drop some knowledge
Real quick, you know what I mean? Real quick. So the players that they got, they drafted a blend. They had a goal. We're gonna get scorers on the outside. We're gonna get speed in the center, and we just gonna push that tempo, and then we got veterans.
Yes,
we got veterans. We got crafty veterans who've been in this situation before. You know, they got all the teams that have recently won, like Tampa Bay Lightning, New York Rangers, things like that. They either drafted a veteran or a young guy that was very key to that success.
I agree.
To get it, and then you draft some of these other guys. We'll take the best out of these guys, and they just made it work. So I'm rooting for them. I might go get a jersey.
That'll be a tough one. The nice jersey is tough. I like that.
I'm getting one for the fall.
One for the fall?
I'm getting one for the
Okay.
fall. Expanding the wardrobe. I want a hockey jersey. I'm getting a Golden Knights.
We got to get to a game, too.
We going to Vegas to go to the game? Because ain't no team in Atlanta.
I'm not talking about that.
We going to Florida?
Yeah, whatever's closer.
Ain't nothing closer, bro. The only thing is Florida.
Whichever. All right, that's fine.
We going to Florida for a hockey game?
Or you want to go back home? You want to go to New York to go to a Rangers game?
Let's do that. Let's go to the next Rangers. Let's do that.
Next season, we're going to go to Rangers.
Let's do that. Because I can see my family. I ain't going to Florida for no hockey.
Just to respond to that, how likely is it? Like you said, very, very, very likely.
I got him in 6. I'm even going to throw a prediction out there.
Got him winning in 6?
6, regardless who get on the other side of Tampa Bay or 6, riding the wave. Vegas rolling the dice with that.
Vegas is losing a lot of money. A lot of money. Like I said, very likely. If you look at the aspect of hockey, you know, what brings you that Stanley Cup? What is one of the most dominating factors is great goalie play. Great goalie play. And Marc-Andre Fleury, his goalie play has been excelling throughout the playoffs. Exceptional.
That was the key draft pick they got.
What?
That was the best draft pick they got. That was the best pick you could have got.
Come on. Excelling. Then, what you look at the next aspect, defense, of course, are surrounding that goalie play. They have one of the best defenses in the league.
It's hard to score because they win games like 3-1, 4-1.
Like 2-1. You understand? So, that was and what really a lot of people get intimidated about, their physical play. I've actually watched some of their games. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched the whole hockey game.
Nah, you can't sit. I'm telling you, the best way to watch a hockey game is live.
They're very, very physical, and it intimidates a lot of people. I don't know if it would intimidate the Capitals, but it's very, very dominating.
Because of the pressure. So.
Absolutely. So, yes, I do. And they're very well coached. Very, very well coached. Very well coached. So, yes, I agree. We agree on that factor. Likelihood of them winning is very, very high.
Getting a Golden Knights jersey.
I might get one, too, if they win.
I'm getting one where they win or lose.
You heard him. But it's time to wrap it up. It's time to go. I'm Tone Taylor.
I'm Chris Harrison. Johnny Manziel is not getting in the NFL.
Yes, he will if he has a great season. I'm telling you. Listen to Tone.
Listen, also another if, and I'm going to say this for all of y'all. If Tone don't play with me in this men's league, ain't no more topics.
Listen,
Bye.
I'm retired. You're listening to
Nah,
Topics
you ain't
on
retired.
IBNX
Coming
Radio,
out of retirement.
and we're out.
Manziel.
IBNX Radio.